Has to be genuine, with affection and feeling coming from your guts.
That's why I'm attending here.
Okay. I can't win with him. Okay, the last characteristic of our communication, 2 sentences, they do not exist in the Arabic vocabulary. Okay, raise your hand and tell me, please. Yes.
I'm sorry?
Excellent.
I'm wrong. Please.
I am wrong or I'm sorry, the same category. I don't know whom you're talking about, but salam yabuna. I'm sorry I took over.
I'm sorry.
It's okay? Mesh. Okay, what is the other one?
I don't know.
Excellent. You don't know the answer, or I don't know is the sentence? I don't know, and I am sorry. I was in Egypt a few years back, and I had a certificate, a medical certificate graduation from the medical school in Moscow, Russia, for one of my friends. And he wants me to stamp it from the Russian embassy in Cairo. Anybody knows where is the Russian embassy? We know the American embassy, right? You know? No? Okay. So I asked people, and they said, في المعادي, street 42nd. So I took my brother-in-law. I went to drive in Egypt, and we went to Maadi. And okay, where is the 42nd Street? Nobody knows. You know where is 42nd Street? Nobody knows. Okay. So my brother-in-law said, you know what? The best thing is to ask somebody at a bus station. They are from the local people. Okay. So we asked, we rolled the window down, and we asked a guy on the bus station, do you know where is the 42nd Street? He said, yes. Okay. Go straight. First street, skip it. Second street, make a right. You will have first, second, third street, you will find a supermarket. Ask them. He could not say, oh, I'm sorry, I don't know. It's very difficult. We all, especially the male species, we like to pontificate. And sometimes it is a problem when you pontificate and you don't know.
What's pontificate in Arabic?
Pontificate. What is pontificate in Arabic? Pontificate is from the Catholic Church. When the Pope pontificates, he gives a decree. No divorce except for adultery. He pontificated. Okay? So some of us, including myself, sometimes we pontificate absolutes, we give opinions, we understand all the subject in the whole life. Nobody does, but sometimes I act like that. And when you don't have grounds for your pontification, that becomes a problem. So I don't know, and I am sorry. It's beautiful sentences you can use in your relationship, and if you have the ego to absorb these and say them, it will make your marriage happier. Questions? 3 styles of communications. How do we communicate? If you wanna, we talk about subject now, but the style. Anybody knows the style, not the content? Okay. There are 2 pathological styles, unhealthy styles, and there is one healthy style. And you find that sometimes in the engagement period when we get angry at each other, we use the first style. Passive style. Silent, cold shoulder. I'm not gonna call her. He doesn't respond to her text messages. He pretended that he forgot her birthday. By the way, if you're planning to get married, try one time to forget her birthday. I did when I was newlywed. Yeah, in the winter time, sleeping in the garage is a painful experience. Yeah. It's very cold. The passive style. There were a married couple, and for whatever reasons, they were getting angry at each other and no talking. So the husband had a travel to give a lecture, medical lecture, and he had to take a plane, flight. So they are not talking to each other. They sleep in the same bed, but no communication. So the husband went to the wife's bedside and on the, nightstand, he said, wake me up tomorrow at 5 a.m. You know, by the time he gets dressed and the flight was like 8:30. Okay, so he went to sleep and he woke up 9:15. Missed the flight, the whole lecture is gone. He was so mad, and then he looked at his bedside, he found a note. It is 5 a.m., wake up. So the passive style, silent treatment, cold shoulder, because my anger, I am not interacting with it in a healthy way. I am bottling it up. I am stuffing it in. We heard Dr. Yusri say, when you have anger feeling, when you don't deal with it, it does not disappear. It does not go away. You can't put it, what? Under what? Under the rug, on the back burner. This is why you have psychosomatic diseases. Number 2 style is aggressive. You. Proverbs 15:1 tells us, a soft answer turns away wrath, turns away anger, but a harsh word stirs up anger. You made me do that. Okay, so if we are communicating, and I'm telling you, the first one is not healthy, passive. The second one, aggressive, is not good. How are we going to communicate? If I'm telling you, silence, no good. Okay, talking, no good. What are we going to do?
Compromise.
Who's talking? Just to, yeah.
Compromise.
Compromise. Yeah, but advise me if I'm angry at my wife. Yeah, I want to compromise, but I want to open my boca. Okay, what I'm going to say. Okay, apply the third style. The third style is, yeah, the Romans said the poison of asps is under their lips. سم الأصلة تحت شفاههم. Asp is like a cobra, venomous snake. What do you call it? Poisonous snake. You know, some people are like that. This is a metaphor. You know, when they say something, just دبش طالع, طول طالع. The healthy style is the assertive style. If you want to go home with some notes, please take the note that what is the cancer of communication? Interruption. And when you want to talk about your feelings, you have the right to express your feelings, both men and women. Talk about the I feel state. I feel so angry sometimes when you keep telling me your hair is beautiful, your hair is beautiful, your hair is beautiful, and I think you don't mean it.
I feel like we're gonna break up.
If you continue like that. Okay. How much time we have? You want to stop? Tired? Continue? Okay. The S1, yes.
What if the feedback of you saying I feel bad about something, and if the feedback you get is something that's negative or something that's an argument about how you feel?
Yeah. The beauty of the third statement, because here you are not solving anything. The silent treatment, remember the man missed the flight? That doesn't happen. Here, once in psychology, in psychoanalysis, anybody of you, including me, once I hear you in the subconscious, all the manufacturing of the defense mechanisms will start to happen. Okay? No, it's not me. No, but I meant it. So all I'm going to defend myself from you. The beauty of this is two things. Number one, You are talking about your feelings, and your feelings are your own. Nobody can come and say, no, you don't feel sad. No. Number one. Number two, I'm not attacking the other person. I'm saying the impact of the behavior or the other statement on my feeling. I think if the spouse or the fiancé or the other party, that can happen at work too, is not able to communicate and deal with number 3 style, I don't think number 1 or 2 will take you anywhere. So we can talk calmly together and say, as couples, conflicts is gonna happen. If you think you're gonna get married and you're gonna live 24/7 happiness, this is La La Land. This is a fantasy. That's in Hollywood. In reality, that doesn't happen. So as adults, mature Christians, we need to learn how can we learn together to resolve conflicts so the house and the home is not broken up. It needs some communication between both. It needs, when we come at the end, we'll talk about listening style. Am I answering you? You need a cooperative partner, and if that doesn't work, I don't know. Anybody has an answer? I believe 1 and 2 creates conflict all the way. Yes?
I think both of them have to listen and understand each other. So if I have problem and I tell my partner I have problem or I don't like that or I feel I'm not happy with whatever you do, he should understand my point. But if he didn't understand my point, it won't work.
Yeah. If it is a repeated style, I think you need to talk to a third party or a counselor who can be objective and neutral, because sometimes we do most of our actions without being aware. Like the interruption I did. That was just the Egyptian style. I know where she's going and I am ready to answer her. So a third party, neutral party, can help facilitating the communication. Okay, we need to move on. Blocks to communication. Now, I was telling you, there was a Sunday school class for 5-year-old kids, and there was a boy coming out of the class, and Abuna asked him, okay, can I ask you a question? He said, yes, Abuna. So Abuna asked him, what do you think Jesus say about marriage? What did Jesus say about marriage? And the boy looked at Abuna and said, Jesus said, Father, forgive them because they don't know what they do. Blocks to communication. We have 5 blocks. Number 1, conversation as a form of punishment. Blaming, ridiculing, name-calling, swearing, sarcasm, and mockery. That goes back to the, remember the percentage? Positive to negative ratio? What was that? What was the percentage? 1 to 25. So this is 1 under the 25. It does not enhance communication. It does not build intimacy. Yes. One friend told me, you do not become redundant till you become redundant. That's a joke. Interruption. The whole thing is about interruption. Bad timing. Proverbs tells us, a word fitly spoken is like apples of gold in a setting of silver. In the right timing. When you get married, you do not have to open the door for your husband after work and give it to him. Give it to him later on. Okay? After dinner, زيك يا حبيبي, how was the day? How was the drive on 405 freeway and 110 freeway? Beautiful South California. And أعمل لك شاي. تشرب شاي؟ اوكي ثانك يو. جيب لي كوبايه الشاي. كنت عايز Arabic is allowed or no? Okay. Okay. I want to really, if you have the time, I want to talk with you about something. I want to get your opinion about it. So I am choosing the good time. He's not stressed. He's not tired. I started with some positives. قلت له شيء روق القعدة. وضب القعدة. Okay? وبعدين I want to take your opinion about something. I don't know how would you feel about it. So I'm introduce it. Doesn't work. Okay. Give him on the head back. ما فيش غير كده.
A long day at work, still stressed.
Uh-huh. You mean you or him? Okay. So how? Okay. How you going to open the subject? Tell me. Don't open the subject. Right? So we went back to the silent treatment. Timing. Saturday, a day off. Sunday afternoon. Timing. We are not good in that. Yes.
كده هيبقى في زي conditioning. Once they're nice, we know that there's something coming up.
And that's nothing is wrong with that.
I would. Okay. Yeah.
Like when you smile and look at her, she will know that, honey, your hair looks beautiful. It's coming. She will know. I'm picking on you today. I'm sorry. Okay. Another blocking to communication, too many issues, all reminding each other of past mistakes. To have a successful marriage, when you have a conflict, you talked about it as adult, mature Christians. You did not interrupt. You listened. You give feedback. You exchanged ideas in a decent, civilized way. The subject was closed. Don't open it in the next argument. It's not very healthy. And also, don't talk about finances with the leaky faucet, with the taxes that's due, with your mother-in-law on the subject, and the neighbors, and the school kids together. You will not arrive to anything. So multiple issues at the same time confuses the mind. Threats and ultimatum. Why threats and ultimatum are not a smart idea? We're about to finish. We have 7 minutes left. Tell me threats. Can you give me a threat or an ultimatum, an example? Not necessarily that you're using that, but people say.
I'm ending this.
Hmm?
I'm ending this.
I'm ending this. That's just, it's not gonna work. Excellent. Hmm.
You don't give me a ring by December, I'm leaving.
I will give you a ring. If you don't give me a ring by December, that's it. Excellent. Okay. What else? You know, this is catastrophic, you know, but something lower tone. You never had from dad or mom or the teacher or abuna or Sunday school teacher or anybody or co-worker, your boss?
all the time.
All the time, like what?
If you don't get your quota today, don't go home.
If you what?
If you don't get your quota today, you don't get to go home.
Exactly, you didn't meet your quota today, so don't go home. When the threat of the ultimatum is too harsh, like, you know, I'm going to end this, we have two problems. Number one, I don't know why you want to end it. Number two, if we end it in an unhealthy way because it is out of anger, you know, something she bothered you with, and you decide, you know, okay. If you don't end it, you don't look good. So, so threats and ultimatum usually they backfire. You know, wait until you calm down. Can look back, assess the situation. We can say, you know what? Every time we meet, we end up shouting and yelling. You go home, you're crying. I go home, I can't sleep. And we've been doing that for 6-7 months of our dating. And I think it might be a red flag that we are not for each other. You're saying the same thing. but instead of, threats and ultimatum. Okay, we continue Buna, 5 more minutes ولا? Okay. Blocks to listening, we have 10 ونعدي عليهم بسرعة. Comparing, like comparing whom to whom.
Me, her to me, or her to other girls.
Okay, or her to my sister.
Or to my sister.
There is one problem in this sentence. What is the problem?
She's not your sister.
No, me, not the sister. I love my sister. No, me. The problem is she is not
My sister.
my sister. So you can compare from here till tomorrow. Genetically, she is not from a different family. Her DNA is from a different parents. Her environment growing up was not like my sister. Her education is not like my sister. She looks, unless she looks like my sister and you marry your sister, then the incest Dr. Yossi was talking about. So, okay, so please don't compare, or to any previous relationship. Or Mike and Mary, look at Mike and Mary. He doesn't tell her, honey, your hair looks beautiful. I don't have to compare. Compare it. Okay, number 2. Rehearsing. Anybody can tell me what does it mean?
Practicing what I'm going to tell her later.
Raise your hand, raise your hand. Yes.
Practicing what I'm going to tell her.
Exactly. Well, I'm gonna meet her for dinner, and I'm gonna tell her, okay, the diamond ring she requested was a little bit expensive, and it is beyond my means. So I'm gonna tell her I'm gonna take a bank loan of about $100, and I'm gonna buy here. Okay, because I'm rehearsing in my head. So it is slow. Oh, I see. For this, yeah. So rehearsing is talking to myself in my head, like a rehearsal of a play. Because when I meet her, I'm gonna tell her all this stuff. Of course, it is good to think in advance. Okay? Nothing is wrong with that. That's better than being impulsive. Yes.
So where's the line between rehearsing and thinking in advance?
Rehearsing is a problem if the person in front of you is talking. Meaning, while she is talking, I am preparing my defense. So all what she's saying is above my head. Of course, when we meet, yes, I have to prepare my ideas. But if I am doing that while I'm being talked to, filtering, I want to tell her. And that's good sometimes. If you filter everything, you will never say anything. This should go here, 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 right? Prejudging. We are very good in that, including myself. I can get a PhD in prejudging others. You hear that all the time. All the people of certain color are,
Lazy.
or most of the people of this country are, and I say something negative, is not very Christian, number one. Number two, it's not true. Because you can't have all the people from this country have one character. يعني هم كل Egyptians are beautiful specimen of human beings. No. فبلاش ايه يعني prejudge. Number 5, dreaming. While somebody is talking to me, هاخد البوت هروح الميديترينيان نروح لندن ننزل على باريس. While somebody is talking. Dreaming or daydreaming. ساعات بيحصل a very common phenomenon that happens in the liturgy. Thank God that Abuna doesn't know. Now, because he's busy praying. Number 6, you will tell me, advising. Look at the advising position. I am the supervisor, the owner of the whole company, and I am very detached. Big distance between me and the person if somebody is sitting in front of the desk. And I'm talking from a tower of mental sharpness. I'm not really involved in the feelings. How does this make you feel? That's more important than advising. When I was newlywed, I used to do that a lot, and I drove my wife crazy. To the point that I asked her, okay, when you tell me, my wife is a physician with me in the same office, so when you come and tell me you had this difficult, demanding patient that came and she wants that and that and that and that, and you telling me I am your lovely husband, honey, what do you want me to do? You know what she said? What do you think she said? Exactly. My habit was, no, you know what? Next time, when she asks you, you tell her only one request at a time. That's it. That's what you tell her. I'm advising. She said, just hold my hand. He said, look at me and listen. Nod your head. Sorry about the difficult day. For women, that's beautiful. It is a release of tension and anger and depression. We men who are business-minded, who are goal-oriented, we advise. That's what you should do. She's not, she's very smart. She knows what she should do, but the patient was troublesome. Number 7, I want somebody, we're going to finish. I want somebody to give me another story so we can finish. A make-up story. Like the one you gave me, but it is another method of communication. We are going to use it, we're not going to answer it, we are going to use it as a method of communication. You can ask me? 4 دقايق ماشي. Can you say something? Story.
A man told his wife, there is a surprise tomorrow. I'm going to take you to the beach the whole day, and we'll take our dinner there. And she said, oh, it's wonderful. Why you don't do it on Saturday? Instead of sitting in front of the computer on the stocks, and you spend hours and hours, and then he canceled everything. He canceled to go to the beach and canceled and they have fight. Yeah.
Abuna, that happened one time with my wife, and she told me, I had some outing, and I told her we'll do it. It was a Sunday afternoon, and she told me, if you can do that more often than you just reading spiritual books, listening to Abuna Dawood Lamai, and I said, you know what? I'm not gonna do it because now you're criticizing me. What did I do with Abuna? Did you notice? You didn't notice. They call that number 7. Derailing. Instead of asking Abuna what happened, or what is the message, or give me more details, I took the line and I derailed. Sometimes, people say that, you know what, I have an auntie, just last week, they told her, you have breast cancer and she's going through chemo. People, the Egyptian people, they take the line, what do they do?
Oh, I have a friend that has...
Exactly. Yeah. And my grandma in Egypt, can I tell you what happened to her? And I leave the person who was coming to unload on me, and I derail. They call it selective inattention.
But does that happen with your wife, really? Or
No, I got my lesson. No? After 33 years.
Winter.
Placating is, yeah. To make you